Good day, everyone. I am Aristarco Carnegie de la Salde Jr., and today I will be your reporter. And we will going to discuss about the point estimate for the population proportion P. First thing first, we need to know our learning objectives. So first, we need to understand the definition of proportion. Second, we need to identify the point estimate for the population proportion P using its examples and formulas. So first we need to know the proportion. So what is proportion? When we say proportion, it is a fraction expression where a favorable response is the numerator and the total number of respondents is the denominator. The basic operation involves division. Thus, the result is a decimal value that can be expressed as percent. So again, when we say proportion, it is a fraction expression. And then when we say a fraction expression, or let's say a fraction, it is very obvious to us and we already have an idea what was the fraction is. So let's say a over b is the example of our fraction. So since a is our numerator. So A would be our favorable response, and since B is our the denominator, so CB will be the total number of respondents. So the basic operation involves division. Of course, when we are going to use a fraction, the basic operation that we're going to use is the division. Thus, the result is a decimal value that can be expressed as a percent. Of course, when we are going to evaluate or total um, the problem using the fraction, so the result would be a decimal value, or it can be expressed also as a percent. Next, we have here a formula that magagamit natin mamaya sa ating examples. So we have here the p hat is equals to x over n, and the q is equals to 1 minus p hat, which is our n is the number of the observation in a sample random populations, and our p hat is equal to sample proportion, or it can be read as p hat, as just like what I've said. And then we have here a p is equals to population proportion, and then our p hat is equals to number of desired outcomes over the numbers of sample elements. Now let's proceed to our first example. In a job satisfaction survey in a certain mall, 800 employees were asked if they were satisfied with their jobs. There were 416 who responded with yes. Now the question is, what is the proportion, and what proportion responded with a no? So in this problem, we need to answer this. So first thing first, we need to find the values that is already given. So our x is equals to 416, and our n is equals to 800. So we have here a formula na na-discuss natin kanina. So p hat is equals to x over n, and q is equals to 1 minus p hat. So since we already find our two um, missing piece na nakita natin dito, so let's proceed to the next step. So p hat is equals to our x, which is the 416, over the n, which is 800, and it is equals to 0.52. Next step, we have q is equals to 1 minus p hat. And since nakuha na natin yung value ni p hat, so all we're going to do is to substitute lang natin ang value ni p hat. So 1 minus 0.52, which is the value of p hat, is equals to 0.48. Again, guys, remember, if the result of this problem is not equal to 100, meaning to say there is a problem with your solutions. Okay, so if the result is equals to 100, meaning to say that your answer is correct. Okay, so let's proceed. The proportion response of a yes is a 0.52, or equals to 52%, and the proportion response of a no is 0.48, or equals to 48%. And if we are going to total this two percentage, it will be resulted a 100%. Next, let's proceed to our example number 2. In a survey of 500 individuals, 248 are like to watch movies on the big screen. Estimate the true proportion of P and Q, where P hat is the proportion of those who like to watch movies on the big screen, based on the example. So, same pattern pa rin yung gagawin natin, same process. We have here our X is equals to 248, which are the individual who like to watch the movies, and we have here our n is equals to 500, which is the total number of the individuals. So let's proceed. So since nakita na natin yung hinahanap natin, all we're going to do is to substitute and then we're going to compute it. So first, punta muna tayo dito sa first step natin, which is p hat is equals to x over n, which is our x is equals to 248, and then our n is equals to 500, which is resulted to 0.49496. Okay. Next, we have here the q minus p hat. So, since nakuha na natin si value ni p hat dito, we're going to do is to substitute. So, 1 minus 0.496, it is equals to 0.504. Okay, again, always remember that um, if the total of this problem is not equal to 100 or 1 or 100%, meaning to say there's something wrong with our process or our solution. Okay, let's proceed. So the proportional response of individuals who like watching movies on a big screen is 0.496, or which is equals to 49.6%, and the proportion response of no is 0.504, or equals to 50.4%. And if we are going to total these two percentage, it will be resulted a 100%, which is correct. And I think guys, that's would be all. Thank you for listening, and God bless us all.